Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, January 25th, 2025. If part of your self-improvement plan for the new year was to be more active in your local political scene, there are a lot of different ways you can get engaged with local government depending on where you live. In 29 Palms, the City Council meets on the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month at 6 p.m., and according to their website, the City of 29 Palms operates under a council-manager form of government, and in that form, the City Council is responsible for adopting all laws and public policies, setting goals, designing strategies, adopting budgets, and giving direction. The 29 Palms Planning Commission meets on the first and third Tuesdays at 5 p.m. The Planning Commission prepares and implements the general plan, which recommends regulations for future growth, development, and beautification of the city. They also hold public hearings to review developments and land use applications. In Yucca Valley, the Town Council also meets on the first and third Tuesday of each month. The Town Council works together to make policies, set strategic priorities, and direct the staff regarding operations of the local government. On the second and fourth Tuesdays, the Planning Commission advises the Town Council and Community Development Departments on matters concerning future development and land use within the town of Yucca Valley. Those meetings begin at 6 p.m. For unincorporated areas of San Bernardino County like Joshua Tree, Landers, Wonder Valley, and Morongo Valley, each area has local citizen groups that meet on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis, and it's a lot to cover for a single person, but luckily we report on the agendas and meetings for the entire Morongo Basin. So if you're interested in the water table that sits below our feet, there are water meetings every Wednesday, along with specialty meetings on tourism, art, developments, and whatever else is happening here in the high desert. For a growing list of local government or nonprofit meetings you can attend to become more locally active in government and policy, you can see this story on our website. Z107.7 is your most comprehensive source for what's happening where you live in the Morongo Basin, but you never know who you'll meet or what you'll learn by getting out to a meeting or two each month. Check out that list at Z107.7fm.com. The Compound Gallery in Yucca Valley presents a 6-artist group show entitled Recurrence tonight with an opening reception from 6 to 10 p.m. The show's theme explores recurring elements in the artist's work, and reporter Gabriel Hart chatted with the Compound's programming director and gallery director to find out more.
Recurrence features works revealing the enduring resonance of familiar patterns. Forms composed of recurring elements, whether in the form of materials, motifs, or concepts, inspire curiosity about the artists and the worlds they inhabit. And in the artist's devotion to the practice and the resulting work, we observe the combined power of chance and preparation. The dedication in making and finding patterns as humans can often border on the obsessive, but an artist's practice of creating repeated abstractions or returning to similar themes and gestures day in and day out can also accumulate into personal narratives. Compound Programming Director Caroline Partamian said,
"We as curators are curious about how once an artist gets entrenched in one theme, why do they remain and return to that theme time and time again? So for example, in this show, we have examples of artists going back to almost like returning home to personal histories or themes, as we see in Borami Sao and Sam Shriver's work, returning to themes in your daily practice, which we see in Yerim Lee, Thielen Ding, and Julie Wayman's work. In the end, as we present these artists all in the same space, we observe that these artist practices all have this theme of recurrence that are organized to disorganized, from meditative to chaotic, observing to that of mending. And so recurrence highlights the ways these artists choose to return to their practices again and again.
The 6 artists Thielen Ding, Julie Wyman, Yerim Lee, Borami and Sao, Samuel Shriver, and Sally French have all respective approaches to the theme, yet gallery director Laura Wilson also saw synchronized recurrence happening within the collective work.
At first, we were just drawn to various artists that had abstract yet graphic themes present in their work, and the title Recurrence didn't appear until much later, although pretty soon into the process of curating the show, we did identify this theme of repetition. For Borami, Sao, and Sam Shriver, and Sally French, and even Yerim, we see these repeated sail shapes. So with Borami and her paintings, and Sam and Sally in theirs, they're obviously totally distinct artists in different regions, but for some reason there's this repeated shape that appears through these various artists' work.
Opening reception for Recurrence is tonight at Compound Yucca Valley from 6 to 10 p.m. and will be on view through March 16th. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Gabriel Hart.
Good news for the beleaguered west entrance to the Joshua Tree National Park. The small booth that sits at the end of Quail Springs Road in Joshua Tree is finally getting an upgrade. Signage went up near the entrance that construction is due to begin on the new west entrance soon. The new booth and the most popular entrance to the park will sit about a mile inside and will expand out to more lanes for incoming and outgoing traffic, hopefully alleviating the gridlock and backed up traffic that happens on weekends and during the busiest seasons like spring. There isn't a timeline on completion, and the construction may cause additional delays for visitors while it's happening. The popular entrance through Joshua Tree, known as the West Entrance, receives more traffic and visitors than the other two entrances to the national park. Just a few miles east, you can enter the national park through 29 Palms, passing through their downtown corridor of businesses on the way. And if you're approaching from the south, the sleepy Cottonwood entrance sits just off the 10 and hardly ever sees a line. At last count, Joshua Tree National Park received over 3 million visitors a year. We've reached out to the park for a timeline and details on the construction of the West Entrance. Stay tuned to your Z107.7 local news during the week for updates.
That's music from Lisa Diaz and Psychic Black. Diaz is one of the performers at this year's Live from Joshua Tree event, now in its 18th year. Live from Joshua Tree is a fundraiser for Mill Tree and features stories and performances from high desert luminaries. This year's Live from Joshua Tree event features Lady Chillane, Lisa Diaz, Anna Olivia Eve, Bonnie Hawthorne, Stephanie Kern, Luana Lynch, Kim Marcus, Licia Peria, Mikey Reyes, Patrick Wallace, and Bob Wold, along with music from Kim Faith Green and food from Matt Blansett. Mill Tree is a non-profit organization that brings veterans, active service members, and community members together in shared experiences, projects, and creative endeavors to help end isolation. Live from Joshua Tree is happening at 7 p.m. at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center. Tickets are available at livefromjoshuatree.com, and the event will be live streamed as well. Taking us out, here's a bit more music from one of the performers, Stephanie Kern.
Life moves on.
This Sunday, there'll be an aircraft show at the Yucca Valley Airport from 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. Pilots will be taxiing their aircraft of all varieties and vintages out of their hangars to answer questions and give tours of the planes. They'll be set up on runway 6 right off Highway 247 and Aviation Drive, and there'll also be donuts, hot dogs, coffee, soda, and water available for free. That's a free aircraft show at the Yucca Valley Airport this Sunday, bright and early at 10 a.m. and going until noon. If you have any questions, you can call Rick. We'll have his contact info at this story on our website. And don't forget, you can get the Z107.7 Daily News as well as all our other programs produced here in the High Desert as a podcast. You can listen to Morning Show Highlights, the Up Close Show, the Z107.7 Local Music Showcase with Pat Kearns, and the Mini Moods of Ben Vaughn, Desert Oracle, and the Unique Garden Show with Mike Branning, all as a podcast if you miss them live. Just visit our website, z1077fm.com, and click on podcasts for how to listen or search for them wherever you listen to your podcasts. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 News Team, I'm Robert Hayden.